Should you buy travel insurance for your cruise? Listen up, because my answer might surprise you. When you consider that nearly 40% of travelers experience some form of travel disruption, investing in a cruise travel insurance policy can seem like a smart move. For a fraction of your cruise vacation cost, you could protect yourself against issues like canceled flights, lost luggage, or medical emergencies. But on some cruises, travel insurance can seem like an extra expense that's really just not necessary. And the people selling you insurance, well, they're really good at giving you peace of mind that they will take care of all your fears. But when it comes to actually filing a claim, just how far does that go? In this video, we'll explore the ins and outs of travel insurance and help you understand when you need it and when you don't. Plus, we'll dive into common fine print details to guide you in selecting the right policy for your needs. And at the end, I'm going to let you in on a little secret about the travel insurance industry that might just change how you think about the whole thing. Let's get into it. Before we begin, let's define exactly what travel insurance is. Travel insurance, a type of insurance that provides financial protection and assistance for travelers in case of unexpected events during their trip. Most travel insurance policies include coverage for medical expenses, travel plans, and personal belongings, all bundled together. Medical coverage will include both emergency medical and dental services, along with coverage for medical evacuation up to a specified limit. This is especially important on a cruise where you will be traveling to foreign countries. Your standard US-based health insurance policy will not work overseas, and it likely won't work on the cruise ship either. If you get sick or injured and need medical attention, you'll be stuck paying out of your own pocket. Travel insurance can help pay for doctor's visits, dental work, medication, surgery, and hospital stays. Any procedures must be medically necessary. Routine exams and elective surgeries are not covered. Now, what if you get sick while in the middle of the ocean on your cruise ship and need immediate medical attention beyond what the ship's doctor can provide? A helicopter medevac costs tens of thousands of dollars. This is when your medical evacuation comes into play, covering the cost of getting you to the nearest hospital. This coverage will also help out once you recover enough to travel. If you need special arrangements to get home, like an extra airplane seat, the medical transportation coverage will pay for this too. If unforeseen circumstances prevent you from taking your cruise or force you to return home early, you'll want to be reimbursed for expenses like airplane tickets, hotel stays, and the cruise fare itself. Travel insurance can help with this, but it only covers non-refundable cost. You need to cancel each reservation and request any refund before the insurance kicks in. There are 3 parts to this. Trip cancellation coverage for issues that arise before you leave. Trip interruption coverage for problems during your vacation. And travel delay coverage for transportation issues getting to your destination. Finally, travel insurance covers the cost of your personal belongings while on a trip. It's every cruiser's worst nightmare. You patiently wait for your luggage to be delivered to your stateroom on embarkation day, but it never shows up. Baggage delay coverage will allow you to purchase essentials while you wait for the cruise line to locate your suitcase. And baggage loss coverage will pay for any item permanently lost or damaged during your trip, up to a certain amount. Alright, so I hope that's given you a good overview of what is included in a travel insurance policy. Now it's time to do a bit of myth busting. Myth number 1. You must purchase your cruise travel insurance through the cruise line. This couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, cruise line insurance is notorious for being overpriced and more limited in coverage than other policies. They typically cover only the cruise portion of your trip, not the flights or any hotel stays. And if you do have to cancel your trip, you may be receiving your refund as a future cruise credit rather than actual cash back. Your travel agent should be able to give you more options to compare prices and coverages. You can also purchase a policy directly from a travel insurance website. I will leave links for some of the companies I've used in the description below. Myth number 2. You must purchase your travel insurance when you book your cruise. Not necessarily. Most policies bought through an insurance company will allow you to purchase them anytime before you leave for your trip. However, you might be missing out on some of the coverages if you wait too long. For instance, many policies have an exclusion for pre-existing conditions. This means that if you're diagnosed with an illness before your trip and before purchasing insurance, the condition won't be covered. Here's another example. You might have heard that women who are more than 24 weeks pregnant aren't allowed on a cruise ship. But what if you find out you're pregnant after booking your cruise? Well, first off, congratulations. And secondly, I hope you purchase travel insurance beforehand, because otherwise your trip cancellation coverage won't apply. As a final example, for all you Floridians tuning in, travel insurance won't cover trips impacted by a hurricane or tropical storm if the policy was purchased after the storm has been named. Myth number 3. Trip cancellation coverage means you will be reimbursed no matter why you decide to cancel your cruise. Wow, don't I wish? Just because you buy travel insurance, you're not guaranteed a refund should you decide not to take your trip. For that to work, you need a cancel for any reason policy, which is considerably more expensive than a standard plan. Regular coverage only applies in specific situations. Obviously, if you or your traveling companion becomes sick or injured before or during your trip and can't travel, you'll be covered. Here's a few more situations where travel insurance will help out. If you are ordered to appear in court, including for jury duty. If your home is hit by a tornado, either just before or during your cruise, and becomes uninhabitable. If you are in a traffic accident on your way to the airport and your car or you need significant repair. If you need to attend the birth of a new family member like a grandchild. If you are permanently laid off from your long-term job through no fault of your own. If your employer requires you to relocate at least 200 miles away from your current home. If your traveling companion isn't able to travel, then your insurance policy will cover the cost of any extra fees, like a single supplement assessed by the cruise line. And here is the biggest reason that Joe and I buy travel insurance. It will cover your expenses if you need to return early because a family member back home develops a life-threatening condition. Myth number 4. The medical coverage of travel insurance will cover you for anything that happens during your trip. Unfortunately, this is not true. It is imperative that you read the fine print of your travel insurance policy to learn what is covered and what isn't. As many cruisers found out the hard way in 2020, epidemics were typically excluded from coverage before the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, most policies do include coverage for a contagious disease recognized by WHO or a government authority. However, there is still a long list of other exclusions. For instance, injuries from hazardous activities are often not included. This can include obvious risks like bungee jumping or cliff diving, as well as rock climbing, hot air ballooning, and scuba diving. Some policies exclude organized sports competitions like a local race or basketball tournament, even amateur ones. I have also seen popular shore excursions like parasailing fall into the hazardous activity category. Another exclusion, which may seem obvious, is any harm resulting from an unlawful act committed by you or a traveling companion. Now, I'm sure none of you are planning to go on a crime spree during your cruise, but consider driving while intoxicated would fall under this exclusion. So would partaking in any drugs that are illegal in the country you are visiting. So be smart while you're on vacation and behave responsibly. Myth number 5. Emergency medical transportation only covers the sick or injured person. Wrong! Many people don't realize that your travel insurance can cover the cost of bringing a friend or family member to your hospital bedside. It also allows a sick parent traveling with young children to have her kids returned home safely to a family member. Myth number 6. If your flight arrives late, travel insurance will cover everything. This one is wrong on 2 counts. First, your travel insurance policy will list a minimum delay requirement that is anywhere from 4 to 12 hours. Second, even when coverage kicks in, there will be a daily limit that can be as low as $100 per person. This amount is meant to cover your food, accommodations, and transportation while you wait. This is one reason why arriving a day early for your cruise is a smart move. Myth number 7. Baggage loss coverage ensures everything that is in your suitcase. Good news and bad news on this one. First, the good news. Your travel insurance doesn't just cover the items in your suitcase. It covers the suitcase itself. If you pick up your luggage on disembarkation day and discover that a wheel is broken or the suitcase is cracked, be sure to document the damage and file a claim. Now, the bad news. Not everything inside your suitcase is fully insured. You can find a whole list of excluded items in your policy fine print, and this often includes many medically necessary items like eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, artificial teeth, prosthetics, wheelchairs and mobility devices, and medical equipment like a CPAP machine. It's safe to say that many cruisers rely on at least one of these items. Additionally, there is usually a per item limit between $400 and $600 listed on your policy. If you have expensive jewelry or a fancy computer, it won't be fully covered. Heck, these days, even your phone might not be covered. A good workaround is to add these valuable items to your homeowner's or renter's insurance. While basic possessions are not covered when traveling, you can get a rider for specific appraised items to include loss, theft, or damage around the world. Myth number 8. All insurance has a deductible. Nope, not true. We're used to paying a deductible on our auto insurance and on our health insurance, but many types of insurance don't have a deductible, and travel insurance is usually one of these. Feel free to file a claim for any legitimate expense, no matter how small. Myth number 9. You must purchase a separate travel insurance policy for each cruise that you go on. If you are a frequent cruiser, I'm about to blow your mind. Did you know you can purchase an annual travel insurance policy for one low yearly fee? If you go on 3 or more trips per year, this is absolutely worth considering. And you can rest easy knowing that you're covered for any personal trip, not just a cruise, as long as you're traveling at least 100 miles away from home. Along with the coverage limits we've discussed, make sure to compare the maximum trip length covered by different annual plans. Right about now, you're probably feeling a bit overwhelmed. It seems like there are more things not covered by travel insurance than things that are. And that's the funny thing about insurance. It's the one thing in life that you buy hoping you never have to use it. And then when you do need it, the people that sold it to you do their best to keep you from using it. I bet you didn't realize that insurance is a highly regulated industry overseen by your state's Department of Commerce. That means that the legal terms of each coverage are very similar from one company to the next. So insurers make their products stand out by the amount of coverage they provide and the types of coverage they bundle into each travel insurance policy. This is one way that insurers boost profits, by including coverages you may not need. They are able to charge more for something you're unlikely to use. For example, many travel insurance policies include rental car coverage. But if you have personal auto insurance, rental cars are covered at the same level as your own vehicle in the US and Canada. For overseas trips, many credit card companies offer rental car coverage at no extra charge when you pay for your booking with their card. Which reminds me, some credit cards offer other travel insurance perks like baggage coverage, so check your wallet and see what you might already have. The bottom line is that you'll want to shop around for a travel insurance policy that includes only the coverage you need. Let's look at a few examples. That's right, it's math time! Hey! What do you mean it's math time? This isn't a cruise beverage package we're talking about. There's like a million variables in travel insurance policy. There's no way you can possibly give a concise analysis of what the best option is for every cruiser. Okay, fine. It's not math time. It's hypothetical comparison time. Are you happy? Well, it doesn't have the same ring, but yes, you may continue. Thank you. For our example, I did a quote for a couple of 50-year-old cruisers going on a 1-week, $5,000 Caribbean cruise. I compared 4 different travel insurance companies: AIG, Alliance, Generali, and Nationwide. Each offers at least 3 different levels of policies. For this analysis, I selected their most basic option. As you can see, the premiums vary by less than $20, so this isn't a major factor in choosing a policy. The trip cancellation coverage is the same across all options, as I valued my trip at $5,000. However, Generali and Nationwide offer trip interruption benefits at 125% of the trip cost. There is a big difference in travel delay benefits, both in the total coverage and the required delay time. All but Alliance offer an additional coverage called missed connection, which gives a one-time payout if your flight is late. You can see the delay required here is notably shorter, and that would definitely come in handy if you are flying to your cruise port. Baggage coverages also varies considerably. Alliance, for instance, only provides $500 per person. I've seen some suitcases that cost that much. Fortunately, if you have this coverage on your credit card, like I mentioned earlier, you could seek reimbursement from more than one source. The most critical coverage at the end here are medical and medical transportation. These are the coverages you hope never to have to use, but if you do, you want them to be sufficient. Both the Alliance and AIG policies are a bit lacking here, but as I mentioned, all of these companies have upgrade options if you are looking for a policy with higher coverage limits. As you can see, it really does pay to shop around for your travel insurance. The good news is that by state law, you have a free look period to thoroughly review the fine print after you buy the travel insurance. This is typically 10 days. I would highly recommend that you take this time to review your policy and make sure there aren't any surprises. Okay, so I told you there is a little secret about the travel insurance industry that might just change how you think about the whole thing. Well, this industry is incredibly profitable, and a big part of that success comes from advertising, some of which can be quite subtle. If you watch a cruise vlog where the host frequently mentions a specific travel insurance policy, there's a good chance that they are sponsored by that company. While the vlogger might actually use the insurance, they also have a financial incentive to promote it. This is just a friendly reminder to always do your own research before you blindly trust that someone else knows what is best for your situation. And for the record, this video was not sponsored by any travel insurance company. All the opinions and research are my own. Travel insurance is more than just an added expense. It can be a safety net for anything that goes wrong in your travels. By exploring your options and selecting the right coverage, you can help ensure your cruise is both enjoyable and secure. And remember, no matter which travel insurance you choose, no matter what cruise line you sail on, no matter where your cruise takes you, adventure awaits.